And what is going on, everybody? So this is my second channel. This is mainly about prepping. If you want to know more about the financial side of things, how the dollar actually works, why the Fed doesn't actually print money like you've been lied to and told, then go over and check that out. It's called Joshua Thompson. Just take the rants off of it. On this channel, I focus mainly on the news, the weather, politics, prepping, things like that. Things that you may need to know that you don't really have a lot of time to go research and find out on your own, and then you can just come here in one place and get the conglomerate and put it together. So let's just do a little bit of the light stuff. So it appears as if we got a tropical storm, or at least it'll be a tropical storm by the time it gets to Southern California, and Los Angeles is going to get some relief from the heat that they're experiencing right now. So if you're in Southern California, you're probably almost dying from the weather out there. I went to Cali and San Diego in 2000 and what year was that? 2010. And the room that I stayed in while I was there didn't even have AC. So if that's one of you guys, I'm sorry, because I live in the South. I know what hot weather's like. We couldn't make it without ACs. And maybe the desert will even get some rain out there. So hopefully, but be on the lookout for flash floods if you're in Southern California, because when you guys get a lot of dry days and it dries up and compacts the soil, it makes it really hard for the water to go through the soil. And it just pulls up, and that's how you get flash floods. So pay attention to that. Be alert. Just know that that's a possibility, especially if it doesn't look like it will, but if the tropical storm gets there and it slows down, and I mean, it can happen. I live in Hurricane Valley. I know it can just move somewhere and just stop. I don't foresee that happening, but it could happen. So just pay attention for flash floods. Anyway, moving on. I was talking to somebody today. I'm going to be doing an interview for him for my other channel, and we got into some preparedness talk, and it just kind of made sense that even if you're not ready, even if you really don't think anything is going to happen, you need to get ready for it anyway. You kind of need to throw it on a shelf over here, that's labeled things that may happen, probably won't, but if they do, they're going to seriously, detrimentally affect my life. Just have them there. Be ready for them. It may happen. Ever since the 2020 thing, I always have additional toilet paper stored at my house. Always. I am never going to be caught in a situation again where I can't wipe my behind, right? So if you will prepare for things like that, then you need to prepare for things that you can see and they may not happen, or things that you can't even see. Try to think what may, could, would, should happen if certain events happen. Like, for example, a global food shortage. Okay, so let's go through this. The United States grows a very large amount of food. We export a lot of it because we have so much of it. But we know with the potash shortage, which is basically just fertilizer, one of the ingredients, we know with the shortage of fertilizer coming from Russia and that whole conflict thing, we know there's going to be a shortage in food this year. Now, they did get some food and some grain out of Ukraine through the agreements they had over there, but it's still substantially less than what it was prior years. Now, what happens when other places around the world start having food shortages? Well, it means the price in their area for the food goes up. There's still food. It's just going to be more expensive, and it's more than likely going to be shipped from America. So if farmers in the United States can get higher prices from other places around the world that are experiencing shortages, then they're going to ship why would you not? You just ship your food out, you make more money. So could that lead to a food shortage in the U.S.? And I'm going to say again, because we had one during 2020. I don't think it will, because we do have a very large, abundant supply of food. However, I do think there's going to be problems. I do think that you'll see maybe not shortages, or should I say maybe not food scarcity, but there will be some shortages in some places. And the meat, a lot of the ranchers out there, when the price of fuel shot up, it made the price of all the other base commodities go up, like wheat, grain, and all that other stuff. That might not seem like a big problem, but The thing is they have to buy tons of it to feed their cattle, to feed their goats, to feed their chickens. And if the prices go up just a little bit, it starts to eat away at their profit margin, and then eventually they can't. It's not profitable for them anymore. They will go out of business. They will go. So what they do when something like that happens, they all round up their herds and immediately send them to meat processors. So what this does is it puts a gluttonous amount of meat onto the market, and it makes prices go down or stay stable. So it makes it seem as if there isn't a meat shortage, as if everything's just fine. Now, I'm not saying they may not be able to recover those herds that have already been slaughtered, but there's going to be lag times. There's going to be a period of time in which it takes to raise that animal, and from when the last herds were sold till they can raise the next one to take it to market. So there's going to be problems. There's going to be shortages. There's going to be issues. You may not be able to get your grass-fed, GMO-free beef. You might have to find other sources. If you live in the Amish areas, you may have to go to them. If you live somewhere else, start talking to your local farmers now. Do that now. Because the last thing you want to do is run out of protein. The last thing you want to do. Period. And then moving along, Drudge Report, front page, right at the top. The Don had nuclear codes, nuclear secrets. Was he trying to sell them? Okay, well, you know what? Let's just assume that everything they're saying is true. If you couple that with the speech that Joe Biden gave, and he was standing in front of, the red coloring and all the Hitler-esque picture imaging that came with it. You couple all those things together, and with what he said, it seems extremely likely that they are going to find a way to indict Trump so he can't run for 2024. This was one of the reasons when I came out with my prediction, and I've said it on this channel a few times, but I've also said it on my main channel and in some other clips. This is one of the main reasons that I said that I don't think Donald Trump will be president in 2024. And it's because I saw this coming on the horizon. Now, just because I'm saying it as a prediction doesn't mean that what I'm saying will end up happening. It's just a prediction. But what I think is most likely to happen is he will be prevented from running in 2024 somehow, some way. And they'll probably end up dropping the charges or dropping the whatever it is to stop him from running afterwards, because they know they can't win conviction. So after the election's over, they drop it. And then the Fed Now payment system goes into service, which is basically the Fed taking over the entire commercial banking system. The commercial banks will still be there. They'll still own their banks. But the clearing houses in between all of the banks. So if JP Morgan wants to send money to Wells Fargo, they use like an ACH type program that it's like a middleman that sends the money and settles all the funds. Also PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, all that stuff. The Fed is going to come in with Fed Now, a payment service, and remove all of those middlemen, and it'll only be the Fed. Now, I don't like to speculate too much, but I do step into that realm every now and then. And you can see by the Federal Reserve doing that, it's setting a groundwork, right? It's laying the tiles for a Federal Reserve, central bank digital currency, Fed coin, whatever you want to call it. So that was another reason why one of my predictions was after whoever wins the presidential election in 2024, they'll probably roll out the Fed crypto in 2024, and then they'll probably give some type of grace period to turn in all your cash. They'll make it mandatory. Everyone will have to have a Fed app on their phone if they want to conduct business in the economy. And then after a while, when things get bad enough, after they've printed too much money or done this or done whatever the next policy area is, they're going to start putting controls on it. And it's going to get ugly. It's going to get really ugly, folks. And that's why I believe by 2028, either Donald Trump or Donald Trump's son wins in a landslide. That's my prediction for the future. That's what I see coming. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. Who knows? But what you need to do is get prepared. I buy my Patriot Supply. It's not the greatest food. I'm not sponsored by them. It's like banana flakes and chocolate pudding and pancakes and spaghetti. But there's no meat in any of it. It's just 2,000 calories worth of carbs every day. But it will keep you alive, and it's cheap. If you want meat, buy tuna, fish, whatever. Do what you got to do. But do what you can to get prepared. Flashlights, bags. Just think of the stuff that you never think about but when you're living in comfort. And think of the stuff that you would really need when you're not. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video.